3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our Sunday question and answer. It's been 2 weeks. We've missed you guys. We've missed filming this episode.
So it's them saying welcome back to us.
Yes. So, yes. Well, we're back. So thank you guys.
Where were you guys?
Thank you guys for tuning in. Okay. So we have a bunch of questions here. I went through because I had actually made a list for last week's video, but then I got sick. So we couldn't film that. And
sick and vacations is something you're just not allowed to do anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So
you're not allowed.
Are you in charge of making sure I don't get sick then?
Yeah, and no vacations. Okay, so I'm definitely in charge of that one.
That's right. So I have a bunch of questions here. What I think we're going to do is we're going to chop this up and make it 2 videos so you guys are guaranteed another Sunday video.
Why are you giving them our behind the scenes secrets for?
Because they're going to see
I don't know.
They're going to see the exact extension. We're wearing the same clothes. We're driving the same way. Okay, it's 2 separate videos. It's going to be 2 separate videos.
Yeah,
so there
we
will
just liked what we were wearing so much. We decided
that's right.
Pause and put the same clothes on.
That's right. Your mom just picked the same outfit for you.
That's it. She does.
That's your Sunday outfit.
This is my rolling video outfit. Enough about us.
Okay, so let's get into the questions. So
Take a good one.
First question here comes from Alil2005.
Alil.
And Alil says, a question for your Sunday show. Do you find sellers that bought in 2020 and beyond are rushing to sell?
Rushing to sell. So I think we could take this question in 2 ways. Are they like in a hurry to get onto the market, or once they're on the market, are they in a hurry to get the sale done?
Yeah.
I guess we could take this 2 ways.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you bought in 2020, you maybe might still be okay. But if you bought in 2021 and on...
And sorry, by okay, like break even?
Yes, I'll get into that. But if you bought into 2021 onward, there's a good chance there's a really good chance that your mortgage is barely moved.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing, the amount that you owe on your home. And so if you're coming onto the market and you look at prices now, you're going to realize that you're not making a profit. The absolute best you could hope for is to break even. And most people won't break even if you bought in 21, 2022. You won't break even. You're going to be selling below what you paid for. And so those people that are coming onto the market, that's like a last resort, or they got no other choice. Because, why would you sell at a loss if you could avoid it? So those people are not in a hurry to come onto the market, and they will try to find other solutions to whatever it is that's causing them to think to come onto the market. But if they have to come onto the market,
I was going to say, and they'll do basically everything in their power to keep the house from going onto the market.
Yeah,
right?
To avoid, even if, we've outgrown it so fast, we need a bigger home. But they're going to take a loss. But maybe what they're buying is also at a different price, and it might make sense. So they'll look at that, but they're really not jumping right away and say, "Oh, let's just sell. It's great," because it's not a great situation for them. But if they are on the market, it's because in a lot of cases they are going to be losing money. They don't want to be hanging around on the market longer and longer, because days on market is not your friend if you're seller, and that goes against pricing. It has a way of pushing pricing down the longer you're on the market. So they're in a hurry to sell once they've made the decision to be on the market, would be, my experience with that.
Yeah.
What about your experience, buddy?
Well, I was going to say, I think the ones that, from all the listings I browse, I think the ones that have been traded around 2020 and up, that's where you see kind of the biggest, the quickest price drops. So, they'll try a price, and if it doesn't work for the first 2 weeks, first month, then, they're slashing the price to try and get something going, or to try and get something to move. Right. And so I think that's where you see, and it's pretty easy to understand the situation if you see something like that.
Yeah.
There's very few situations where, someone's going to take a loss and, for some other I'm confused as that. But yeah, basically if you bought in 2020, I'm seeing a lot of those doing price reductions faster than other properties that, let's say, you purchased in 1999. They got no mortgage. They'll stay at their price for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would agree with that. So, next comment here comes from ASMR Natural 2640. And they say, can you please provide contact of home inspector? Thanks a lot. So we did a video talking about basically the value of a good home inspector. And I think 80% of the comments were, why in God's name would you not name the home inspector the good home inspector so people can know, people can use them,
Okay.
right? And we thought about that when we were recording the show, but we didn't want to make it a promotion for the home inspector. Like we have a good home inspector that we have a good relationship with. His name is Adam Hanan. He is from the Inspection Professionals. If you want to Google it, you can find his contact info there. That's the home inspector that we use.
Message us directly.
Yeah,
we're happy.
Well, they did, and we didn't respond. But
what?
that is the
give him Adam's contact details.
The Inspection Professionals. I'll put the details here. But yeah, that video was more about the importance of using a good home inspector. We didn't want it to become you should use this home inspector. So since people have asked, I'll give you guys his information, but we just didn't want it to be an ad for him.
He does a great job.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Very thorough, does a great job, great at explaining things. He's very calm, even keeled, and will tell you the facts. So you, as the buyer, can make up your own decision.
Yeah, and we actually have a funny experiences with him. So if you ever hire Adam to do a home inspection for you, as soon as you get to the electrical panel, and if you know, or if he knows that you came from us, basically, or the referral from us, he will tell you the electrical panel horror stories that he's had on 2 home inspections with both of us on different occasions.
So one, the electrical panel just
don't spoil it for them because he loves telling that story. But
boom.
So you'll get a nice little story there if you hire Adam to do your home inspection.
But let him know
let him know
that it comes from us. We like to refer people we feel good about.
And we don't receive anything from him by giving out his information. We just give out his information because
we get a thank you. But we know he does a great job.
Because he does a good job, yeah. Okay, so next comment here comes from Freedom Is Yours 7687. And they say, could you do a show on electricals, siding panels, and asbestos roofs? Very specific. What year was it when we started seeing modern new homes and having these older supporting elements versus having these older supporting elements?
That's a great question for Adam.
We've actually been talking to him about doing one of these Sunday episodes because there's a lot of stuff that you need gas.
I need gas.
There's a lot of stuff that he's very, very knowledgeable about. That
it's his job though. He's the expert there. I respectfully, I don't want to get into the fine details of answering this question. Just because, and I know a bit about it, but I'm not the home inspector. I'm not the contractor.
One inspection with Adam, and you know everything about everything.
Yes. So this is a bit more of a technical question, and we're getting into construction stuff that I again have a bunch of experience, but I'm not the right guy to answer this question.
Okay, so next comment here comes from Mohammed Banasawi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Mohammed Banasawi 4798. And Mohammed says, he bought a pre-con in 2020, closing is 2025. Appraisal is now $175,000 below our contract.
Out.
Both my wife and I had unexpected short-term disability this summer, so our income dipped and lenders pulled back. We asked the builder to push final closing to year end. We've been paying occupancy, but were refused. We scraped together a bigger down payment and still face a small gap. Everyone's enforcing their power, The family bears the pain alone. What would a fair, humane solution look like in today's market?
Wow.
It's a
What
tough
you are
situation.
experiencing, maybe not exactly like your situation, but hundreds or thousands of people last year, this year, the year coming,
Yeah.
they're experiencing the similar situation, let me say, in a sense that what they bought is appraised far less today. And even with them not being on disability or having that issue affect them, will have a hard time getting financing
Yeah.
for the purchase just because of that difference in the appraised value. So that's a big problem. A humane solution, you know, it's so tough to say because if prices were going the other way and you're building, this is going to sound crazy, but if prices doubled, uh, is the builder, should the builder have access to some of that? Prices went south in a negative way for you now. You signed a contract, and unfortunately, you're kind of stuck. It'd be nice if the builder, it would have been, I guess, nice if the builder would push it off, prolong it. Maybe the builder could give you the mortgage themselves based on the value. Would you be okay with that? But then think about that. You're buying a property at the face value that you sign in contract, knowing the value isn't there.
Yeah.
Like, so how is that? That solution really just kind of helps the builder, doesn't help you so much.
Yeah.
It's really tough to figure out what's fair for everybody because some of these solutions are really one-sided.
And
They
I
either
think
help the builder or help you.
I think it doesn't even matter what a fair, humane solution would look like, because at the end of the day, it's what the builder's willing to accept, right? And
Yeah.
if you've
And you
already,
sign, it's contract law though.
yeah.
You signed a contract.
And
That's the thing.
if you've already requested, like, because we know of some builders that have been able to work with their buyers as long as they were end users. If the buyer was an end user, we know of some builders that were able to work with them in the sense of either offering them what
Yeah, isn't
you're
that,
saying, a delayed closing,
you're
or
totally right.
offering those kind of things in order to help the buyer. But yeah, at the end of the day, the solution is only gonna, because technically you're the one that's in breach, the solution's going to be whatever the builder agrees to. And if you've already asked for, this delayed closing, which doesn't seem like too big of a deal,
It doesn't seem like a big
right?
ask.
It's not, and they've said no to that, then I don't think there is really a humane solution for you unless you ask for,
I do want to say, look, so if you're asking for a delayed solution, you kind of got to have an exit strategy also to pitch the builder. So to say, yeah, can we close 4 months later? Okay, what's going to change in 4 months?
Yeah.
So if you could, I guess, prove that in 4 months you can get the financing, then I think at the very least you have an argument.
Yeah.
But just to prolong closing, so the inevitable is still going to happen that you can't get financing, why would the builder even consider that? So I would look at that. But something you said that just sparked something in my brain. So the builder, you're right, is more flexible with end users. So if you're an investor,
well, some builders, that's what
some builders, we've seen that. So some builders, though, like if you're an investor, you bought strictly for investment, you weren't going to live there, like they got no sympathy for you. Yet the builders were catering only to the investors in the past.
That's true.
And now they're the first ones the builders throw under the bus is the investors. Isn't that crazy?
That's actually, that's a good point.
It's the investors that were propping up the whole market.
They were the ones that allowed them to make as much money as they have. And now they're the first ones to get the boot as soon as something goes wrong.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. So, okay, next comment here comes from Notes 647. And Note 647 says, Hey guys, thanks for the great insights into the GTA market.
You're welcome.
Any plans to show a breakdown of detached semi, town, and condo for other regions like you'll do for Toronto?
The short answer is no, just because there isn't really much volume there. And I've been for a while contemplating if we're still going to do semis and towns for the city of Toronto.
I know.
Right? There's just not much volume there. We do it because there's some volume, but not much.
It's one of those things. So, like
Now, can I just say,
sorry.
But for our clients that are buying semis in towns, like we do a breakdown for them, and we study and we go over the data with them. That's different. We're strictly talking the show and the amount of time it takes to put this data together and present it for the show. That's what we're most likely not going to do for the other regions,
Well,
semis and towns.
So this is one thing that we've tinkered with for a while, because we do, once we introduce that map chart for the city, and then once we started doing the breakdowns for the city of Toronto for detached for 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms, and then condos 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, like there's a lot of good data that comes out of that.
Absolutely.
And this, as it stands, the 4 videos we do a week, plus this Sunday video that we do every now and then, it's a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to put the numbers together. It takes a lot of time, like all those charts. We've created all those charts. We pull the numbers from the MLS every week. It does take a lot of time to create the show for you guys, but we do want to give value, and we do want to give as detailed and good information as we can without making these videos 40 minutes long. You know what I mean? And so we've tinkered with the idea of maybe diving into certain regions of these different areas.
Certain neighborhood.
But yeah, like if you want, let us know in the comments, like, what would you like to see from these brands? Don't just say everything broken down, semis, towns, detached. Like we just can't do that. We don't have the time to do that. But if there's any improvements that you guys think we can do for the charts, there have been some people that have commented and said, hey, maybe you should do this. I remember the moving average thing, like maybe include that. And this, like, these are things that we do take into account. So if there's anything that you think would make our presentation better, our charts better, we're all ears, we're open to listen. So please leave that in the comments below. But yeah, so I'll get to the next question here.
I have a comment I have a question I'm going to throw out there. What percentage of billboards is when they're, as you're talking, what percentage of billboards are not occupied by realtors? Like, every single billboard is
Yonge Street from the 401 to Steele's here.
What percentage? What's the answer? 100%.
So.
Maybe 99% of all billboards are realtors, all tied for first place.
Yeah.
All area experts.
We did that one time. Remember, it was on Major Mac, in between Dufferin and I forget where, maybe Jane. But every single bus ad was a realtor bus ad.
It was for about 4 or 5 kilometers along Major Mac. It was a long stretch, and every bus ad.
Incredible. But okay, so
another one.
Next comment here comes from Woof Puff 4889, and this was with regards to when we were talking about how we were with our clients and they were looking for a property that was around 3 million. And it got multiple offers.
Yeah.
And so, we're saying that, like, this stuff does happen for the right houses. And so Wolf Puff says 3 million is a bit fringe as an anecdotal example. And while I would agree with that, the point of that is to say that, it's happening in the $3 million range, but it's also happening in every range below too.
Yeah.
Right. So we're seeing it with the 1 million to like if you look at the breakdown of the cities, Scarborough has the most sales for detached homes in Toronto. The
highest
average price,
percentage.
the average price is low, or
Months
not
of
low,
inventory
but
is
it's
usually the lowest.
months of inventory is usually the lowest. Average price is, I'd say, in the starter detached price for the city, so like just over $1 million, and a
It
lot of
also
those,
has, of new listings, it has one of the, if not the highest
yeah,
percentage of new listings are listed with an offer date
yeah,
strategy.
yeah, and so it is a bit of a fringe example to use the $3 million, but that was kind of to say that it's happening up there, and so it's definitely happening below that range as well.
Part of my point in sharing that story with everybody was really based on the fact that so many people say to me, "Oh, I guess the market is dead." Look, it's soft, but it's not dead, and we're not falling off a cliff. If you know, look at the last few videos when we're breaking down the percentages and the data of property selling at 2 million or more.
Yeah,
There's quite a bit of activity going on when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the market's on fire and it's, everything's going great on that side of things. The market is softer. The market is pretty much balanced. But it's not dead.
And it's funny because whenever we're working specifically with clients, and in particular buyer clients, that, everyone wants, if you're buying, you obviously want to get the best house you can for the amount of money that you're going to spend. And so when you're looking at, let's say you have a buyer client that's looking for a $1.2 million semi in Toronto, or let's say,
we got to prepare them.
And like they watch all these videos and they're like, "Oh my God, the market's dead. We're the only people going to see houses."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, hey, by the way, they just got the fourth offer. So
yeah, our clients are often surprised.
Yeah,
that's a really good point.
Yeah,
that's why I bring you along.
That's why.
That's why I bring you along. You make great points.
Not just for my good looks,
not just a pretty face. It's absolutely true. One of the most important things I could do up front before we start working with a client is a buyer client specifically, is letting them understand what to expect. And it may not be we can go out and see houses, take our time. It depends on the house. Sometimes we can take our time and think about it. And other times you got to act quickly. The other day, we showed the property on the drive home while our clients, we'll let you know, we're thinking about it. We liked it, but I'm not sure. They received 2 offers just on the drive home.
Again.
But the other one sitting there, my clients didn't want.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
They want to buy the one everyone else wants to buy.
It's very odd how that happens.
Stop liking what everyone else likes.
That's it. Okay. So next comment here comes from Balorian. And Balorian says, "I'm sorry. Who has $3 million to buy a house? Who has the income to afford the mortgage and property tax on a house of that value? Not only that, but enough people that want to spend that they overbid that asking price in this economy and market." So, one thing that I feel like I say it in almost every video that I'm ever in, but so many people underestimate the amount of money that there is in the GTA. So many people underestimate, because people are going through difficult situations, and there may be a lot of people going through difficult situations. There are a lot of people that have a lot of money, or a lot of access to money, or a lot of or parents with a lot of money. There are a lot of people that have a lot of money in the GTA. And, when it comes to these let's say the $3-4 million houses, we helped a first-time buyer buy a $4 million house not too long ago, right? That was their first home.
Don't ask us to explain that one.
Yeah, it was a rental. They were going from a rental condo to a $4 million home. And they had very high paying jobs. They saved for a long time, but there's a lot of people with these types of jobs. And I think people really underestimate that.
It's also relative to your surroundings. I mean, if you and your friends earn a certain income, and you live within your income, then, that's as far as you see.
Yeah.
Anyone outside of that. So, if you're in say $1 million home and, you drive an average car for $1 million home and the lifestyle, you vacation
You go
once every 2 years to one of those all-inclusive resorts, that's the lifestyle. But then there's other people that vacation on a yacht that's their lifestyle and that's the income bracket that they're in, and they don't understand what you do and you don't understand what they do. Everybody's got their world that they live in, and the affordability is different for everybody. So for somebody looking at, 1 million, looking at who can afford a 3 million. Well, there's people in 3 million looking at the $10 million properties going, what, these people movie stars? Like, how do you afford a $10 million property? It's all relative to your surrounding, what you're used to, and your bracket.
But there is a lot of money in the GTA.
There's a lot of money in the GTA. Absolutely.
And so yeah, and like, you got to think about it too. If someone there are a lot of houses that are $2 million houses just because of time, right? And so if someone in Toronto bought a detached house when it was 700,000, 25 years ago?
Yeah.
And now that's worth 2.3 million, right? They've paid off the mortgage by now, 25 years.
You would hope.
Right? You would hope, yeah. And like, if they go up to a $3 million house, that 2.2 million bucks,
not a stretch.
Yeah, it's really not too much of a stretch. So it's that is to say there's a lot of people with a lot of money. But next comment here comes from Roadmap 999. Says,
let's go. Roadmap. What do you got?
This is with regards to our video where we were talking about how the inventory that builders have is not something that we can necessarily quantify in our numbers,
right?
Because they keep it private.
Yep.
Right. So we had a situation where there was one property that was listed, one unit that was listed on the MLS by the builder. And then after speaking to the agent, there turns out there were tens of other units that we had options to choose from if we didn't like that one unit. But those were not listed on the MLS, so not part of our numbers. So Roadmap here says, so based on what you said, what do you think the adjusted MOI is?
Where do I?
40?
We just finished
50 months inventory.
We just finished saying we have no idea what those numbers are. I would say probably double would be a bit high, maybe 75%, 50% more than what it is now. So if we're sitting at 9 months MOI, maybe it's a year.
Over a year?
Yeah, maybe a little over 13 months of inventory.
Quick math.
I'm just guessing. But I will tell you, I was recently speaking with somebody who's a friend of ours. This gentleman has a ton of experience in real estate, and he's an advisor to some of these builders. And he was telling me how he's advising them. And this is before him and I have had, he didn't know that this is what we were talking about on our show about all this hidden inventory.
Yeah.
And we were having a coffee and just chatting away. And he's telling me about some of his meetings, and he came up with, builders. And it wasn't just builders, condo builders. It was, freehold properties. And he's advising them to stop with the phase 1 and release everything. Phase 2, release everything. They should just release 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 properties at a time. Don't release 50 and stop calling it phase 1, phase 2. Just, hey, we got these 10 properties for sale, and just go with that. And that's the only way you're going to be able to properly kind of judge the market, to see where it's going, to see how you should adjust your prices on the next release of 5 or 10 properties. But stop with the here's 100 units in phase 1, because that's just it just makes them look stupid.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Well, I guess it does, and in a way it doesn't, because people don't necessarily know the amount of inventory they have, right?
Well, they don't, but if you see a
But
big, if the
you
billboard, if that realtor there
if you
gets his
yeah
face off the billboard,
billboard,
and it's a builder advertising, same family, real
Yeah.
estate, and say, phase one open this weekend,
yeah,
launching, you're expecting there's going to be a lot of properties being
and I guess
offered,
it
not
doesn't
just 10.
it doesn't do you any favors if someone walks in and they have 100 units to choose from,
Right.
right?
But if
yeah, that's
there's
fair.
5,
Yeah,
it could create a sense of scarcity. If there's 5, it could help the builders
Yeah.
if there's 5 and you sold out that weekend and you offer another 5
Yeah.
next weekend, it's just a whole different
I hear you. That makes
attitude
sense.
towards it.
That makes sense. Okay, so next comment here comes from Reality Check 84. And Reality Check says, "Hey Santo, why do you say like what's happening with condos is bad? This is actually healthy. This is good. This is normal. What was happening before was the craziness. We should change the narrative and see prices down and inventory up as a good thing, not the other way around."
That's a great comment. And if I have said anything is good or bad, I'm apologizing now. That's not my intention at all, because I really don't see it.
I don't think you did, because
I don't think I do either.
as someone that listens to all of these videos
Especially
4 times when I edit them,
during the editing, I know if prices are going up, if I say, hey, that's great, I know it's hurting the buyers. If prices are going down and I say, hey, that's great, then I know I'm hurting the sellers. It's just not
yeah,
in my DNA to pick a side. We work with buyers and sellers, and I truly believe there's no such thing as a good market or a bad market. It's just a market. And
you said that so many times, you should just get that tattooed on your back.
but it's true. And no matter what, there's always somebody that market is going to benefit. Will it benefit the buyer? Will it benefit the seller?
Yeah.
Will it benefit the investor? Every market has its unique set of circumstances. If it's coming down, hey, it's coming down. I can't change it. If it's going up, I can't change that either. What we're trying to do on the show is give you the most accurate data so you actually know what's happening.
Yeah.
Because most people don't know what's happening.
And so Reality Check, I will actually take the blame for this, because I think the reason why they're saying this is because of the titles.
Your thumbnail.
Yeah. The titles and the
buddy,
thumbnail.
you're getting me in trouble with
You know what? Reality Check, this is all my fault, okay? I also agree with what my dad says, but we've tried the positive thumbnails and you guys don't watch. So what do you want from us? All right. We've tried the positive thumbnails. No one watches. Well, not no one. We still have, I'm sure, Dirty Burger and those guys that'll watch. But yeah, we tried positive thumbnails. People just don't watch them. So, the titles are not reflective of how we feel about the market. The titles are more
trying to get you to click.
Yeah, we want you guys to watch the videos.
See,
obviously.
reality.
We want you guys to watch the video.
Totally transparent. The thumbnails are to get you to click.
And hopefully what we try to do, we spend a lot of time doing this. So we get a lot of behind the scenes of how our videos are put together. So
eating lunch?
Yeah, no. We don't eat until they're all filmed, by the way, which is a tough.
Some days lunch gets really delayed. Some
days lunch becomes dinner very fast. But what we do is we come up with a title and we toss that into ChatGPT and see if it can make it better. But then it's okay, does this title actually reflect something that we're going to talk about? And so we don't want it to be clickbait. We want the title to match what we're actually discussing. But yes, negative titles are just, people don't watch if it's not negative. So correct. I'm sorry, but this is just the game. This is the name of the game. If you guys watched when I put condos are down, let's all rejoice. If you guys watched, if I put that title, you might see it, but we've tried something along those lines and no one watches. So that is your answer. Okay, so we have a ton more questions, but we'll save that for video number 2. But I did want to end off with this really nice comment from Bavishia Bat. And Bavishia Bat says, sorry, I hope I pronounced that properly. Most underrated YouTuber realtor. You guys
All
deserve at least 100,000 subscribers. Thanks for always making valuable content.
You're welcome.
Yes,
And
Bavishia.
if we did better job with the thumbnails, we'd get more.
You know what, Bavishia? We've had this discussion multiple times, and I think that we could tune our content differently in order to get more subscribers. We can tune our content differently in order to get more views. But I think we're very happy with the community that we've built with people like you that watch our show. We're so grateful that, it sounds crazy, but there are people that come up to mostly my dad in public and thank him for the videos because they've helped them. They've helped them with their real estate decisions, whatever it is. And it's just such an incredible, I feel like we've built such an incredible community of people that are involved and watch the shows every week. And we wouldn't change that for the world. So thank you guys so much.
Well put,
with
buddy.
that, thank you.
You don't need me on this show.
No, I do.
What am I doing here?
I do.
Did I even answer a question on this show?
I don't know. We did a lot of talking. 36 minutes here on the raw file. So,
okay.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for leaving your comments. You're going to get video number 2 because I still got a bunch of questions, but that'll be next Sunday. Leave your questions in the comment section below to be featured on this video, and have a great rest of your Sunday.
Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.